festival this morning at 11 o'clock. How did it go for you?
It was absolutely amazing, thanks, Dave. We worked it out. That's the earliest we've ever played a rock and roll show, and it was amazing. Download's great.
And it's 11 o'clock. Did you get a good turnout to the crowd?
Yeah, we did. You know, I mean, you never know. We were the first band of the day, I think, and the tent just kept filling up as we were playing. So I guess that's a good sign.
It certainly is. Because at that time in the morning, everyone's hungover. They're just woken up. Yeah, it's just like shit. Yeah. So it takes a lot to pull them out of bed. Yeah, that time in the morning. Yeah.
Well, if it was, if it was me, I don't know that I would have made it because I'd still be asleep. But we were very happy with the crowd, and people were singing along. And this is only our second time in England, so to have people singing along to all the songs is just incredible.
Yeah, because you guys are from New Zealand, aren't you? Yeah,
we are.
That's a killer flight coming over here.
It is. We were lucky that we got to. We came from the States. We've just been on tour over there, so we managed to bypass that huge, New Zealand to England flight.
Yeah, because I think that's 23, 24 hours, something painful like that.
I think it's one of the longest flights out there.
Yeah.
So we got lucky. We came off an American tour, so we got to kind of sneak around that way.
Right. Yeah. Is there much of a metal scene in New Zealand? Because when you think of the countries that produce metal bands, it's not really one that you automatically think of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of awesome bands in New Zealand. The metal's big in New Zealand. The problem with being down there is just that it's such a small country. So there's a great scene, but if you want to tour every day and play every night like we did, then you kind of have to leave New Zealand. And so I think a lot of times awesome bands in New Zealand just don't necessarily get heard because it's so small and it's quite isolated.
Yeah, I suppose really apart from Australia, there's nowhere that's within a shortish travelling distance.
Oh, exactly. I mean, when we're talking about the plane flights, it's like if you come from New Zealand, if you want to go anywhere, you have to get on a plane for a long time. So, I think there's a ton of great bands in New Zealand that a lot of people probably wouldn't have heard of just because, it is so far away.
Right, yeah. And one thing that struck me was you actually use a didgeridoo, which I can't think of any band other than possibly Midnight Oil who would use a didgeridoo.
Yeah, it's funny because my brother Chris, who's our lead singer, he taught himself how to play didgeridoo in like 3 days. It's like one of the hardest instruments to learn, so I've got no idea how he did it. But as soon as he started playing it, we just thought that's like the most hypnotic sound we'd ever heard. So we just started trying to find new ways to work it into our music, and it's really fun as an artist to have this ancient instrument that's kind of never been used with rock music before, and find ways to pair it with heavy music.
Yeah. And of course it means that it gives you that sort of unique edge that there's so many bands. There's a limited amount that you can do with guitars, bass, and drums.
Yeah.
So throwing something like that into the mix really just adds a lot of interest to it. I think.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time that we we'd been using didgeridoo in our music, but there was a turning point when we decided that we wanted to start using it as part of like the metal band track. We wanted to make didge heavy. And the first time we ever put it with these distorted guitars was in Love the Way You Hate Me. We'd never heard that combination before. We'd never heard like metal drumming and guitars with this. It's the oldest wind instrument in the world, and crazily it fits perfectly. So for us, it's really exciting to have that different dimension to our music.
Yeah. And obviously you're in Europe at the moment. You've got a few other festivals, this summer. What are the plans for after that?
We're here in Europe, actually touring with Tremonti, who are playing right now. Love these guys. We're playing Grass Pop Festival in Belgium as well, which is something we're really stoked about.
That's another huge one.
Yeah, we can't wait to play that. And of course, Download for us. This is one of the most iconic rock festivals in the world, so it's pretty surreal for us to be here. And then we go back to the United States and we tour there for a few months. And then we're really hoping to come back to England and Europe again this year because we love it here now.
Yeah. that's something to look forward to if you can manage a tour. And you've got a new album out, Wish You Hell. Where did the title come from to start with?
It's funny, Wish You Hell was an idea that we kind of came up with. We just thought it was like the perfect good riddance to someone who'd screwed you over. It's a play on Wish You Well. And we came up with this song idea, and we thought it would be the perfect song to kind of pair hard rock with the blues. We've spent a lot of time touring in America and in the south of America, and we've kind of fallen in love with the blues. We thought Wish You Hell sounded so much like the name of like an old Delta blues song.
Yeah. So
it kind of grew out of that. It was this sort of blues hard rock hybrid, and it all kind of sprouted from that one, from the title.
Right, yeah. And do you have one or two main writers in the band, or do you all kind of sit down together and throw in ideas?
Well, there's actually three of us that write songs. My two brothers and I, we all grew up playing in different bands. And in each of our bands, we were all the singer and the main songwriter. So when we started playing together, we just thought it would be cool to keep that dynamic of having different writers and different ideas coming all the time. It's a cool way to write music because there's a ton of different ideas and different influences. And the only rule that we have when the three of us are writing is just that we only keep what we love, So there's all these ideas floating around, and we're just able to keep the ones that we're really passionate about.
I suppose that it's the only way you can guarantee you're going to get the best out of it. If you start putting in, this one's okay, so you start putting in the filler, then you're compromising the quality.
Yeah, we always, we always have a ton of songs left over at the end of every album because we just picked the ones that we, felt really came together and really say what we want to say. So it's a cool way to make records. There's never a shortage of material with three of us writing.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. The fact that you have got this sort of extra material, you're not short of it. There'd be nothing worse than shit. We need 2 more songs for the album.
I think that's
and it's due to be recorded next week.
I think that's every songwriter's worst nightmare. To think that you'd have to write at the last minute just to fill up the record.
Yeah.
We have the opposite problem. We have songs that we love that just didn't quite make each record. So it's a fun way to make albums to have all these different songs floating around, and I think it means you can really shape the record based on the songs that you choose, rather than just putting on 10 songs because you only have 10.
That's it. You can sort of work out which of I love these 15 songs, but these ones work better together than some of the others.
Exactly, and you can really showcase a range of music. We love heavy music, we love acoustic stuff, we love all kinds of music. So when you have such a big group of songs to choose from, you can really pick songs that showcase different parts of the band.
Does it ever get to the stage of arguing over which one to keep? We've got to cut one of these 2 songs.
It's funny because we have a voting system. So that kind of saves us from a lot of arguments because we just vote if we come to an impasse, and whatever the majority thinks is what we go with. And I think it means that you get to keep the best songs rather than maybe just the ones that each guy is biased towards because he wrote. So it keeps the whole thing pretty demographic, and I think in the long run it's better for the music as well.
It's a good idea, the voting system, because like you say, you're going to get attached to the ones that I want this one into it's mine. That's great. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.